everyone, welcome back to another speed build. It feels so good to be back. I feel like it's been an eternity. I think it's actually only been like a week, but for some reason it feels like I haven't filmed or built anything in a very long time. I was away over the weekend, so I wasn't able to play Snowy Escape. Honestly, still haven't really played it that much. The first thing I did was build. So I can't really give my 2 cents on gameplay, but build and buy was perfect. Cass was okay. I feel like there's some good hairs, but they've really stepped up their game with build and buy for the last few packs, so no complaints there. I still feel like this should have been a game pack. That's just my opinion. Please do not crucify me if you think this is like the best expansion pack ever. I don't think anyone really thinks that, but super happy for representation and build and buy, but I feel like if you're not in this world, there's nothing really to do. So that is my mini review for the day. But we are building I was gonna say starter home. It's not a starter home. It's supposed to look like a starter home, but I think it's like probably 80,000 simoleons, so you might have to cheat to live here. But the idea was it was like a single sim or a single parent, because there ends up being a kid's room, that owns a Florist shop, and this is what I'm building right now. And correct me if I'm wrong, you can have home businesses in The Sims 4. At least please tell me that's true. You could in The Sims 2 and 3, and I didn't check for some reason. I just assumed that was the case with Get to Work, but I feel like the Get to Work, the whole business system was like a little bit flawed. I feel like it could have been so good, and they just kind of screwed it up. Open for Business in The Sims 2 was like the best. It was so good. So I'm really hoping you can actually have home businesses, or this lot is pretty much useless, but yeah, I really like how it turned out, at least, and I cluttered up the front with like a whole bunch of plants. I used a lot of the new ones from Snowy Escape. I tried my very best to use like mostly Snowy Escape stuff in this build, but I obviously used some Eco Lifestyle and Tiny Living because what else is new? Oh, and I tried my hand at platforms, which is kind of challenging, and I had some glitches. I know a lot of people have had glitches, not just with platforms, but with everything pretty much, and I was also in that boat. I'll show you guys, I think I left a clip in, there's some weird shadowing going on, but we'll get to that. For the exterior, I wanted this to sort of be like an industrial, sort of grungy area. I know that's probably not the case because if you look at the surrounding neighborhood, there's like a beautiful river and like mountain views, but you know me and I love some grunge, so that was what I wanted to include. I don't think there are any there's like one new flooring that came with the pack, but it didn't really make sense. There's a name for it that I'm forgetting, but yeah, so I just used some base game flooring. I love this new kitchen set that came with the game. It does remind me of Felix and Harry's custom content, one of their packs. I can't remember if it was the garden one or the kitchen, but one of those. I feel like the cabinets look pretty much identical, so I think in the Sims team got a little inspo from them. And maybe in the next pack they can collab with custom content creators, because I feel like that would be really cool, at least for Cass. I feel like that'd be such a good idea. But I love that stove that doesn't have like a back to it, so it's perfect for when you're including them into islands, so it's a little more seamless. So bless the Sims team for giving us something that we wanted. I think people have been asking for that for a long time, so it's nice to see. This house is pretty small, actually. I think I extended it by a tile off camera because I was like, nothing's really fitting in here. And you can see there I'm putting the TV on the counter because I didn't really know where to put the TV. If there was no fireplace, it would have been fine, but I really wanted there to be a fireplace, so. We do get 2 fireplaces with Snowy Escape, which I think are my 2 favorite items. I didn't use my favorite one, actually, because it just didn't really fit the aesthetic of this build, but yeah. And that's the new table, the Kotatsu table, I think it's called. Apologies if I'm butchering that name, but it's where you can like have the hot pot and you can all sit down. I think it's actually a really cool item. I was gonna use a smaller one, but then I was like, nah, the Sim who lives here likes to have like dinner parties in their pretty small home, but yeah. So now this is the Flora Shop. Off camera, I went through debug and pulled all of the like seasons, the pre-made flower arrangements, and just put them on top of that shelf there. And then use a Florist table, which is also from Seasons, and then just kind of cluttered things up with, at least for what I could find, it looked kind of garden-y. It's not a word, but you get the idea. Yeah, I really like how this little area turned out. Backyard, I actually really liked. It's really small and it's pretty much just concrete, but I kind of like that. I've been really into like, I don't know what the word would be, like very clean, like stylized backyards with like not a lot of landscaping, which I think is quite common, at least in like Japanese culture from what I was Googling from like reference photos. But yeah, and that's one of the fireplaces that I was talking about, which I love. And then I use the string lights that came with toddler stuff, which I love using in backyards. Yeah, those ones right there. I actually put in another one going the opposite direction, but I did that off camera. And then you can see there I used some platforms to sort of create some different levels, but I didn't find platforms that tricky to use. At first I was trying to figure out how to make them go lower. I thought you had to like place a platform and then like drag it down, but that wasn't working. You have to start at like one level up. This probably makes no sense, but if you're testing them out, you'll see what I mean. Yeah, terrain manipulation tools were definitely a lot harder. Oh, and then there, those are shutters. The plants were clipping through the wall, and I just needed to cover them up, so I thought that would kind of look okay. You can obviously remove them if it looks weird to you. And there I was also just adding some graffiti to the wall to sort of continue the grungy theme. Love this new bed that we got. I really like the bedding. It's all very simple, and the wood tones are like, I don't know, I think the wood tones that came with this game are so nice, and we've seen some textures that we don't normally see, which was cool to see. And yeah, we got some like really nice, just basic swatches. And then for these blinds, I was a little confused because they kept snapping to the lower part of the window. I think that's on purpose. I like how it looks. I was just a little confused. I wasn't sure if that's what they were supposed to be doing or if it was a glitch. And with The Sims 4, there's a lot of glitches, so. And moving on into, this is like the sort of office nook area. We use the new desk and new chair, which came with Snowy Escape. Originally, I planned on having the kids' room as the office. I don't know why, I just had my heart set on this being like a one sim household, but that did not happen. You also see that I do not include any of the footage of the bathrooms. Apologies, I feel like I keep doing this. Maybe next time I'll include them. And I also realized that I forgot that in Japanese culture, the toilet is always separate from like the sink and the shower, which was actually my last house that I lived in like, with my parents. We had that too, and it's also very common in Europe. So I don't know why I forgot, but I will update the second floor bathroom, but the first floor one, unfortunately, I don't think there's gonna be space for that, so probably just have to leave it as is. And yeah, this is the kids' room. I ideally wanted them to be like super into snowboarding, but I realized there's not a lot of like decorative items that allude to that. So aside from the bedding, you don't really get that idea, but yeah, just cluttering it up with some toys and whatnot. But we are coming to the end of the video pretty much. As always, I will include footage of the interior at the end, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.